Welcome to Shad's Voice, where we get a random topic and from a random topic generator, and I just talk about it until I can't talk about it anymore, or I run out of things to say. Um, so today's topic, or at least for this one, maybe people have had it, maybe they haven't. It all depends. And I think I brought this up before too. In a different video, I can't think off of the top of my head, but I've talked about my love for the certain game series and whatever. And if you know it, it's Darksiders is my comfort series. But the topic doesn't technically have to deal with the game series, but it does deal with it if that makes sense. But the topic is, what has been your 15 minutes of fame up to this point? And I feel like I've talked about it before. Specifically, I cannot remember what video it could have been. But, dealing with Darksiders, when Darksiders Genesis released, before it released, which it released near Christmas time, for Stadia and PC, which, rest in peace, Google Stadia, if you're watching this at the time where it's probably dead. I mean, even as current now, it's gone. It's completely gone. They've given up on it. I mean, I never played it, but maybe somebody else did. It did not last long. PC and Google Stadia, it released around Christmas time. The console version did not come out until Valentine's Day. So my 15 minutes of fame, and I made a deal with my friend, sort of, that I would not ruin Darksiders Genesis for me on like gameplay or anything else. I was allowed to watch trailers. I listened to the video game music because I love Darksiders music. That's one of the things I absolutely love. And one of the things I constantly listen to. So those things I could, but I was not allowed gameplay, seeing the levels, anything after release date. So my 15 minutes of fame, which Darksiders Genesis, which if people know the game, Darksiders Genesis brought in Strife, which is mostly everybody was excited for because we haven't had really Strife up to that point. We wanted to get his personality, we wanted to see him, we wanted to play as him, and Darksiders Genesis gave us that opportunity, even if it wasn't going to be anything like the previous Darksiders games before. So, and then, of course, when you have a new character coming in and you have a new, uh, well, you know the character, you will think you know how they're going to be. One of the reasons you're going to be excited for those characters and hoping that they bring them to life is not only the devs, but also the people who voice that character. You end up knowing that character from their voice, what they sound like, all that, so it comes to that. So, Darksiders 3, Strife was voiced by, what was his name? Phil Lamar, who also does voice work for other Darksiders games. Mostly you know him as Volgrim. But uh, he also voiced Strife in Darksiders 3, which he did not obviously end up being Strife then. The new voice actor for Strife ended up being Chris J. Alex, which I didn't know him until Darksiders Genesis. But now nobody else can be Strife. That's how that works because he did awesome as Strife, and I was technically just waiting to see who our voice actor was going to be for Strife, and somebody let me know who it was. I looked into him, and yeah, absolutely just love the guy. And without spoiling the game for myself. So what my 15 minutes of fame came in uh 3 years ago now, nearly, come Christmas time, because that's when Darksiders Genesis came out. Doing a fan art portrait drawing of half of Chris's face and the other half Strife. And it was more like a thank you for being Strife for us and all that. And this was a time where I'm pretty sure COVID was going around. It was in December, that December before COVID hit, like majorly, or they were saying COVID was around in January before the doctors even knew it. And I was sick. I was having coughing fits like crazy and all of that. So I figured, yeah, I probably had COVID and I was one of them, and the doctors didn't know what it was. I never went to the doctor, but they didn't know what the freaking sickness was at that point. So yeah, and it was a night at work where I know I was coughing very bad. I was even trying to take somebody's order and her daughter's, and I just could not breathe. So I had to step away for like 5 minutes and all that. But like the day before or night before or something, I posted that drawing on Instagram, my Instagram account. I don't know what possessed me, but to tag Chris J. Alex in that drawing. And that was that. But on my lunch or supper break, it was a supper night, I went on my 15 and I realized Chris J. Alex reposted that drawing, thanking me, saying how awesome it was, saying how he was staying in the Darksiders family and he loved us and all that. And that repost was probably my biggest achievement as a Darksiders fangirl, even up to this point. I still think it's insane. And he reposted it. I don't remember how many likes current it had. And thanking him and all of that, and it was just insane. It was like, I don't know, you're meeting a celebrity, sort of. And I technically, I guess, was the first one to do it. So yeah, it made a huge difference to me, and it was cool, and I absolutely love that. So that was my 15 minutes of fame. It was more than 15 minutes. I would say it lasted for several days. And I was just so super stoked about it. And because, like I said, that was my moment as a Darksiders fangirl, that I was very happy about it. And drawing is what I love doing. I draw portraits, so I mean, drawing Chris's face and then Strife's was like half and half. Uh, it it was what I do. So, and it was colored and everything. So that probably really just blew his mind, maybe a lot of people's mind, whatever. And yeah, that was basically my 15 minutes of fame slash few days. And there's really nothing else I could say compared to that moment as of that happening. I have not had a situation that meant so much to me since then, because I don't try to seek attention, I really don't, but maybe sometimes you feel like you need to just get out there, and it was a risk and it paid off, I guess. So yeah, just that moment of, oh my god, Strife noticed me kind of thing. and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure he'll be back. Hopefully, whenever Darksiders 4 comes out, we'll hear from him again, we'll have strife, and all that. And yeah, I can say that was my 15 minutes for fame or more, whatever you want to call it. Just that night that turned out bad because of how sick I was, but all had that automatic mood change. And because that happened. So if you had a 15 minutes of fame, let me know, or more, that you are very proud of and you want to let me know and talk about. Let me know down in the comments or whatever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.